What's going on, guys? It is MurderInc here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we have some new news from Plarium, giving their responses about the Doom Tower, the difficulty of Bommal, as well as some pretty big clan versus clan changes. So let's go over it, let's see how good these new changes are, and let's see what they said about super raids after they've had a little bit of time to see how the community has reacted to it. Okay, so as you can see, here is the official announcement from Green Knight, community manager, awesome guy. Anyways, let's talk about clan versus clan. First, the clan versus clan tournament next week will not start on Tuesday, but on the following Saturday. Now this is good, right? During the week, people are working, they have tons to do. It was a real nuisance. I know people in other clans who took work off for some big clan versus clans, so hopefully that's over if you work on the weekend. Unfortunately, it cannot appease everybody, but this should be a step in the right direction, right? This is what I thought at first. Another benefit to this is, as we know, they did increase the value of pulling shards, and now this will always fall on a 2 times or a 10 times. This is good news and bad news. The overall change, in my opinion, was pretty bad, giving more points for pulling shards. Now there's more incentive to kind of wail out to win these things, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But if it is going to happen, if it's an inevitable change like it does seem to be, it makes more sense being on a 2 times or a 10 times event. Now, one thing that is going to change a little bit for the worse is going to be 3 versus 3 tag arena, whatever you want to call it. That's going to get significantly harder. Since this is on Saturday, so close to the tag arena reset, people are going to have to make a really big choice whether or not to leave a one-man defense or a full team. It's probably going to increase activity with this feature even more than it already has been, since the points are rather easy. So this is something that I'm kind of half and half for. You guys can let me know what you think about this change, but it's definitely not going to be as easy as we've currently seen it with this being on Tuesday. No one really cares. Everyone's throwing in one-man defenses. You're fighting over and over again. Now, I would predict things getting a little bit more difficult since it's so close to reset. Maybe we're going to have to see some real competition in tag. Maybe that's going to drive players to not do it as much, just keeping their full defense up, not really using this as a source of getting points. It does look like they're shifting their focus on trying to get people to pull shards, which, as we all know, they have to make money. That's their thing. We already know they do that. So not the greatest change, but a change nonetheless. And one thing you'll see right away, is it a one-time thing or a permanent change that we can see right here? Everything they do is based off analytics. Maybe if they see that it's not the best change, they will change it. Maybe they'll move it to a Friday, which would be a little bit easier for Tag Arena, and it would still fall under the same threshold for a 2 times or a 10 times event. However, only time will tell what they're going to do. Next thing here, we have super raids. You guys can let me know what you guys think about super raids. However, I personally don't think it was a huge deal. I went over this in the interview, and I've mentioned this before. This isn't really going to save too much time. One major thing that they did bring up is super raids during clan versus clan. It's only going to count as one battle being ran, which I do like a lot. Had they not kept this, which I think a lot of people overlooked and didn't realize, clan versus clan would have been even more for spending more than it already is, making sure you're fully loaded on energy, grinding spider as many times as possible, and getting those double points. So despite them incentivizing more shard pulling by moving this to a Saturday, super raids do seem to be untouched by that factor. And they did clarify one thing, that despite super raids giving you double rewards, the same situation for clan versus clan applies for anything else you're doing. As far as clan quests, advanced quests, it will only count as one run. The next thing we're going to talk about is their response to Doom Tower. Is Bommal too hard? Is Dark Fae too hard? I personally don't think Dark Fae is that hard. I talked about that before. And their response is kind of my view on this. They said, we'll carefully analyze your feedback and analytics in this area as soon as the current Doom cycle ends. They said, Bommal and Dark Fae are certainly no piece of cake. Of course, we've already established that, but a lot of our experienced players have already succeeded in finding several tactics to conquer them. Now, for myself personally, I know I've released, 6 guides for Bommal, and yes, it's possible, but once again, it is absolutely the hardest content in all of Doom Tower. While I do like hard content, don't get me wrong, I'm still standing by my point that the Doom Tower probably wasn't the best place to put this. If they wanted to release some form of new content, a new difficulty of the Doom Tower, something like that, I think that would have been much better overall. Instead of making it so players who have Doom Tower rotation 1 and 2 on easy farm, hard, and normal difficulty, then they get to Doom Tower 3 and they're just getting destroyed. Now, I'm not going to completely defend them because I've made many reasonable teams, lowering the gear requirements as much as possible, and there are a bunch of cheesy teams still that you can do where you solo with a few champions, despite the win rate being rather low and the gear requirement being a bit higher than the 5-man teams, but it's definitely possible. So what they're pretty much saying here is they're going to keep watching it, but they have no intentions of nerfing it. I know that's going to upset quite a few people, but I do think they have to be pretty careful if they do nerf this champion. What if someone fully invested already in all of these champions based on the guides either myself has released for Bommal or other content creators, and they nerf it? They don't need these champions, so it's pretty much a double-edged sword here. No matter what they do, if they don't nerf it, people are still going to complain, saying it's too hard, it's overtuned content. And if they do nerf it, you're going to have players who said, well, I spent money to invest in this champion I would never use, and now you're saying I don't even need this champion to complete it. So that is one thing. So that is definitely one thing to consider on both sides of the spectrum. Now the last piece here is something I will talk about very briefly. It's account security, recommending enabling 2FA in Plarium Play. It's not available for phone. I've seen more and more people as of lately saying my account's gotten hacked. I don't know what the deal is. I do know they're going after a lot of these account selling websites. Not to say there's any link there, but there is a major link based on the ban notifications I've seen people getting. Devil's Market's definitely one of the most obvious ones where you can spend, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, maybe $50. I'm not really sure how much money they go for. And you can get a starting account with 2 legendaries of your choice, progress through the game, have a good time, whatever. Those accounts are getting mass banned, so if you did this such a long time ago, maybe you forgot about it, maybe you just have too much pride to admit you did this, the account gets banned. I've seen a lot of people saying, I got hacked out of nowhere, I lost my account, this is insane, I'm extremely safe. Then going to support saying, okay, what's the deal with this guy, and finding out that they did indeed buy their account a long time ago from one of these websites and they were hit with the ban wave. It is quite unfortunate, but, and I'm not by any means saying that everyone who has been hacked falls in the same situation as these people, but it is extremely common for this situation to happen. Another thing is they are cracking down on people using cheat engine. There are more people using cheat engine now. They are getting banned for abusing it. They're slowly starting to integrate their anti-speed up the game security that they do have running here. It's going to get more and more efficient. So if you're using it, you should definitely not be using it, stop using it, whatever. Or if you really need that competitive edge, specifically in arena, you can keep using it and time will tell what the results will be for you. Alright guys, so overall, this was a pretty decent announcement. They did clarify a few things. I'm interested to see how this new clan versus clan change does affect anyone. I know a lot of players don't really care about clan versus clan. They kind of just take the free-to-play rewards and then don't worry about it again. But after looking at the last clan versus clan, I noticed that there were over 300 clans visible who went well above the milestone rewards. So people are actively pushing, or clans are actively setting some type of minimum for players. So it's definitely a topic that affects a significant amount of players well past their milestone rewards. So I'm interested to hear from you guys based on what I just described to you, how you feel about this change, changing clan versus clan from Tuesday to Saturday. Is it a big deal? Is it not a big deal at all? Are you going to be affected by the 3v3 change? All of these things I'm definitely interested. What were your thoughts about super raids? Of course, as I said before, it's not a viable replacement to save time for players, but maybe, just maybe, it could be the step in the right direction. If they implement this in other areas like faction wars, you complete 1 faction wars, it counts as 2 runs, consuming double the amount of keys. Granted, you have enough keys for whatever the cost is, giving you both the glyphs. This could definitely be a viable step forward. This wouldn't apply to clan boss at all, unfortunately. So I think they still have a very long way to go in that aspect. Alright guys, that's going to conclude my video today. Let me know what you guys think. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you all in my next upload.